What do you think about the controversy with this Spider-Woman cover everyone's talking about?
Oh, man, that thing got blown out of proportion.
Okay.
Pretty extreme.
Sure.
In part because there was too narrative about that thing.
Okay.
One of the narrative was about the sexual nature of it.
Sure.
And I'm a huge Manara fan.
Okay.
I've been for a long time. I have a tremendous respect for the master. I'm not quite sure it was a good editorial direction for a book marketed around the fact that they want to bring more female reader, especially in this context where there is a quite obvious and healthy wind of change about feminists and just women in general going for it and saying and asking comic to be more appropriate for them and making more sense, and outrage is all around the place. I know, somehow, and it is justified. Comics have always been marketed in a certain fashion.
Sure.
Now they reach a larger base and they have to be adapted to this. And not just comic, by the way. It's the same thing for cinema, for an entire pop culture, which is a great thing to see happen. Now, I almost wonder if Marvel didn't do it on purpose. Like, let's get Manara and let's make that thing.
Yeah.
And they called and say, more sex. Yeah. Milo, make it more sexy. And so Milo he doesn't care. I mean, he can do a lot worse. And so you got this controversy, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna get the sales going.
I don't know. I think it's like, that's like what he does, right? So if you're gonna give him something to do, like, that's what you're gonna get. Okay. So was he the best choice? Probably not.
He's a European artist. I think North Americans are too uptight, man. It's art. It's erotica. It's, I don't know. It's nice.
Yeah, but does it belong on a Marvel cover? I think that's the.
Well, the thing is because they're trying to appeal to children and then pretend that like they want little girls to be looking up to Spider-Woman, and then they're giving you a sexualized version. But really, the people who have the money are the old perverted guys that want a sexed up cover, right? Those are probably the people spending more money than the younger girls looking up to Spider-Woman.
The other part of the controversy that kind of interlinked and fueled it all is that a French-Canadian artist from a girl from Laval, actually, offered a suggestion to reposition the Manara drawing into something less, I would say, obviously sexual.
Sure.
But that got perceived by almost everybody. You know how how the internet works. You see a picture and then you have an opinion on it, and that's it. And people took a stand upon that. Well, how can you redraw Manara?
Yes.
Who are you to redraw Manara? Because I would never dare redrawing Manara, because especially female anatomy is such the optimal master of it all, especially on that thing.
Sure.
And so the people reacted in that fashion, but some people did. Combined with the feminist discourse, it became like interference, and suddenly it became confusing.
Sure.
Are we... see my problem here? There's two different things. The idea is, are we talking about feminism, or are we talking about, can we reinterpret master's work? Whatever the masters, I don't care which one. Sure. And...
well, it's between art and commerce, right? It's like kind of the conflict between the two.
Yeah, well, to me, I'm a uber feminist by upbringing. So my relation to that problem was about art, and I got to reflect upon an artist's interpretation, especially somebody that knows what he's doing, like Manara or Picasso, because I made a joke about Picasso later on that day.
What was the joke? Can you tell us?
I redraw a Picasso drawing like with appropriate proportion and stuff. Sure. But that was just a demonstration of this idea that can we really revisit a master body of work or a piece? Is it even making sense to do this? Unless it's a student, and as a teacher say, oh, careful, you do that. It's a mistake. You probably didn't know it.
Yeah.
Picasso or Manara will do stuff and they know what they're doing.
Deliberately, yeah.
Yeah, and so this is the little difference, but it's really art philosophy, and it has nothing to do with sexuality and the depiction of woman in comic at all. And at some point, I had to reach out to the girl in question, the one that made that comment, that made that redraw, and she's actually super cool, and she doesn't seem too much affected by the storms that happen on the internet. We're having a drink in Montreal together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Great.
About all this, to laugh about this.
Then here's my next question. What do you think about older perverted guys that want to see superheroes and superheroines pose that way?
I mean, like, that's why they're old and perverted, because they want to see that. You know,
Point.
It sells. That's why they do it, because it's going to sell, right?
I have a friend. He's younger. He's like...
Is his name Yanick?
No, no, he's like 22 anyway.
Okay.
And we had dinner together, and he's younger, and he was like, he felt... He's a good-looking guy. But it's not like muscular and stuff in super shape. It was just an okay-looking, good guy. Right?
Okay.
But he felt inappropriate in his own body. Like a kind of discourse you can find out of like the mouth of a teenager girl. But he felt that. And, you know, he goes to film and you see all these guys. There's always the scene where the guys are taking out the shirt and guarding the galaxy. And like Captain America does it. Yeah. They all do it. It's like the Candy moment where they take out their shirt and they're like, impossible. They are impossible.
I know.
Me, I don't care. I draw that stuff, so it's all right. But for him, it was kind of painful in a way because he feel like this is what, because the girls, they react to these shots, and he's like, I'm inappropriate. And it's kind of funny because it's a new thing.
Sure.
It's used to be the girls that will look at magazine of anorexic top model and feel like, oh my God, I have some curves, I'm abnormal. But now, I mean...
Even plus size, you know, like this much fat or plus size.
Even the image of guy superhero is affecting those younger kids. So I don't know. Maybe we're gonna reach an equity at that level of unhealthiness.